welcome to a special NFL Week 7. That's what we're in, Week 7 prediction video. I'm your host, Noah Love, and today we're going to be talking about all things NFL Week 7 here on the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. We're already in Week 7, NFL, slow down. Uh, it was a great week last week of games. Didn't get to cover it. Had a lot going on, but we are back and we are here to cover everything week 7. This is hopefully gonna get out right before the Thursday night football game between the Steelers and the Bengals, but we have no time to waste. Let's just jump into it. Let's start Thursday night. Steelers at Bengals. Steelers favored by 4.5. Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. Steelers coming off a great 23-9 win against the Browns. Very good win. Bengals, they've lost 4 in a row. They're reeling. Joe Flacco's now their quarterback. He played okay against the Packers. Thursday night is like where the weird games happen. Like the Giants beat the Eagles on Thursday night. Like Thursday night seems to be the game. The or prime seems to be just where weird games happen in prime time. I'm really gonna go out on a limb here. I'm going to go with the upset. Cincinnati beats Pittsburgh. Now you're probably asking, why do you think that? I just think it's one of those games where the Steelers don't play their best. I think, look, at home, prime time, big stage, I think the Bengals defense that hasn't been god awful at times. They've still been bad, but not god awful. I think they play okay enough. I think Joe kind of gets it going a little bit to Chase and Higgins. And I think the Bengals pull off what would be a massive upset. I know I'm kind of out there on that, but I really do. I know the offensive line's bad. Trust, I know. I know TJ Watt, Highsmith. I just have a feeling about this game. I think it's going to be one of those weird games where you look back at the end of the year and you say, Cincinnati won that. Yeah, they did. I'm going with the upset. I'm going Cincinnati to win this one 27-23. I really think Cincinnati has a chance to pull this off. I don't, even though Pittsburgh's 4-1, I have not been totally impressed by them. So yeah, give me the Bengals in that one. Up next on the slate, we have the London game. Rams at Jags. Rams coming off of a 17-3 really unimpressive win against a battered Baltimore. Meanwhile, Jacksonville is coming off of a tough loss to Seattle. Here, this game's in Wembley. This is like the Jags' second home. They always play in London, and they usually play well in London. So this one, look against Seattle, it was tough sledding for the offense. Defense played decent as well. I'm kind of, again, this isn't really going out on a limb. I'm going to pick the Jags to win this football game. I think the Jags defense, no Puka as well for the Rams. I think the Jags are going to be able to get pressure with Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker. I think they're going to be able to get to the quarterback. I think Stafford, look, they're going to be able to force a turnover in this football game. I really think they're going to be able to do that. And I think with no Puka, it's just going to be really hard for the Rams, I think, to consistently maybe generate offense. That's if they can't run the ball. And look, it's not like the Rams are playing a bad defense. This is a very good Jacksonville defense that has been really good in the yardage department, and they've been really good in the turnover department. I just think, look, Jacksonville's season to me all hinges on Trevor. That's what it is. Trevor's gotta take care of the football. He did against Seattle, and they lost, but he's got to do it consistently. He's got to take care of the football consistently. By the way, Jacksonville, if they lose this game and a certain team wins, uh, and a certain team wins on Sunday afternoon or evening, whatever you want to call it, things will get interesting. But yeah, Liam Cohen's doing a great job. I think the Jags find a way in London, 9:30 a.m. to pull this out. I think the keys to this game, honestly, it's going to be about the pass rushers. For for the Rams, it's Verse. For the Jags, it's Hines Allen. Who can they get to the quarterback? To me, Jacksonville's got to find a way to make Stafford uncomfortable. I think for the Rams, it's easier to make Lawrence uncomfortable than Stafford, but you got to find a way. You cannot let him just sit back and in zone coverage and throw. He's gonna torch you. Jacksonville mixes it up. They bring blitzes. Sometimes they stay just with a 4-man rush. Sometimes they're in man-to-man coverage. And look, Stafford's seen everything, obviously. So I don't think that's going to be a big thing. Like he gets confused. I think you just have to make him uncomfortable in the pocket if you can. But yeah, give me the Jags to find a way to win this one. I think the Jags win probably 20-16. I think Jacksonville just finds a way. Again, under Liam Cohen, it seems like they've done that. I think they do it again. Up next on in terms of the docket, let's go a little quick on this one. Miami and Cleveland, we won't. We're not. I think the Browns are gonna win. Uh that's kind of all I got. I don't. We're not Miami. They both stink. Look, Cleveland's got a very good defense, but their offense stinks. Miami's offense has played. It's still been decent, bordering on good. Achane and Waller have been doing all they can, but that defense, it's just a dumpster fire in Miami. That's what it is. It's a straight dumpster fire. It Yeah, it's just not. It's not. Nah, it's just not working there. So the give me the Browns to pull off the win there. Another game in the 1 o'clock window will get out the way, but it's actually to me this is kind of intriguing. Carolina at the Jets. Now you say, Noah, why is this game intriguing? Why do you why are you going to talk about this game? Why aren't you just going to pick it? I'm going to talk about this game because one, Carolina had a massive win last week against Dallas. And you was like, who doesn't beat Dallas these days? It's a huge win for Carolina because of how terrible they've been for the past 6 years. That win, it's the biggest in the Canales era, and that's the biggest win that they've had in a minute. The Jets they're just trying to win a game here. To me, this is a trap game for Carolina. You're 3-0 at home, which is great. You struggle on the road. Bryce is like 1-15 on the road, which I can't believe that's a real stat. Uh, just they struggle on the road. Don't necessarily play well. I mean, they went on the road to Jacksonville this season. Play terrible. Played at New England. The special teams really did them in, but we're obviously seeing New England's not bad at all. They're a good team this year. We'll get to them in who they play. And then they played in week 2 on the road in Carolina. It just wasn't good. They struggle on the road for some reason. At the Jets, I'm going Carolina. I think they find a way. I think this, to me, the culture's changing there. To me, Carolina's getting to be a good team. They're winning some football games now. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs this year because obviously the NFC is just stacked demon conference. But I do think Carolina is a team that they're not an easy win anymore. You don't mark them down as easy win. Plus, they're getting Chuba back. They're going to use Chuba and Dowdle as a two back system. Chuba had 1,100 yards last season, so Chuba's not bad back at all. So it'll be interesting to see how they use who will be on the field in third down situations. But look, they have some balance. Carolina does, and that's going to be key for them going forward. So give me the Panthers to beat the Jets. Jets, y'all just stink, man. Y'all stink. Another game that we'll go to. New Orleans at Chicago. I'm kind of surprised the line is only 4.5. Actually, that's not really surprising now that I think about it, because New Orleans does compete. They're a bad team, but competes. Chicago should be able to take a lot of deep shots in this football game. They should be able to do that against New Orleans. The Patriots had some big plays called back, but they went deep against New Orleans whenever they wanted, and they almost got whatever they wanted in that football game. I think Rattler's playing decent. I think he's playing good football. I just think his team is just terrible, man. Chicago, they're coming off a big time win against the Commanders to go to 3-2, and don't look now. They started off 0-2. They've won 3 in a row. Big win in the Ben Johnson era. Caleb's protecting the football, not taking unnecessary chances. The old line's kind of humming. They're getting the run game. This team, it's not quitting. That's a game that against the Commanders. That's a game last year they would have lost. It didn't happen this year. I think the Bears continue to ride this wave of momentum, and they get to they get 4 in a row. I think the Bears are gonna beat the Saints. I think they win 36-26. I think they're gonna be able to score a lot of points against the Saints defense. The Saints defense is not good. So I think the Bears at 4-2 in this conference. I know that division's tough, but it's going to be, how can I put this? That's going to be a tough division, not only to win, because they are in the race to win it, even though I don't think they will. Not only to win, but just to make the playoffs. I mean, that's going to be tough. But look, win this game, you're in good position. You're in very good position. Lose this game, nah, you can't lose to the Saints. This is one of those games where you're just like, it's one of those bad team at home must win. That's just what I feel like to me. Up next, we got an interesting one. The storyline: Vrabel going back to Tennessee. Pats at Titans. Brian Callahan was fired this week. On Monday, he got the axe. Amy Adams Strunk made the firing, I'm assuming, but then she wasn't even at the presser. So, look, Tennessee's a dysfunctional dumpster fire. Mike McCoy is going to be, I guess he's going to make a couple changes to the offense. Look, we'll see. I think New England stomps them in this football game. Drake May's been playing great football since week 3. Really, week 3 was his last egg game, but even week 3, I think they played well against the Steelers. Probably should have won. They just couldn't hold on to the football. By the way, because of the Bills losing to the Falcons, they're first in the AFC East because they got the tiebreaker. But yeah, give me the Patriots in this one. Look, Jeffrey Simmons is the only one on that defense. I think New England's going to be able to torch them. Vrabel's going to want to win this game like 60-0 because of the way Tennessee, he was fired. They traded A.J. Brown, just didn't get along with the GM. And look, when Vrabel got fired, I I was vehemently against it. I'm like, what are you doing? This guy really brought you guys back to relevance. You were good or at least competing every single year. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And to this day, I still don't get it. Vrabel's a really good head coach, and he's bordering on great head coach, and you're seeing that with New England. How in year one he's turned it around. It's not the most talented football team. They the O line, look, they're still it's better than last year, but Will Campbell's young. They're still pretty young on that O line. May's young. Ramondre Stevenson, they got Trayvon Henderson, but it's an okay backfield. Receiver wise, it's Diggs and who else? Booty's okay. Demario Douglas okay. The defense is really where they made the big improvements. Really, but it's still a young football team. And to be 4-2 at this point in the season and looking at five and staring 5-2 right in the face, I think if you and being first in the AFC East, I think if you asked any Patriots fan on October 16th that this is what they want, they'd shake your hand and take it. So yeah, New England, what they've done, Vrabel mainly, it's remarkable and commendable. But give me the Patriots to win this football game. I think the Patriots win probably 30-14. Or yeah, 30-14. I think New England wins. I think Tennessee's gonna try to compete, have some pride, but it's not working. Up next, let's go to Arrowhead, where Jim Nance and Tony Romo are calling it. Rashee Rice is back for the Chiefs. The Chiefs Raiders, I guess, rivalry, you can say. 1 o'clock CBS, first I guess you could say prime time or America's Game of the Week or whatever game for the Chiefs. They've either played at 4:25 or 8 o'clock this season. So yeah, Chiefs should win this game. I've seen a lot of people have Chiefs number one in their power ranking. I don't know about that. Chiefs should win this football game. They should win this football game. Facing the Raiders. Look, they won last week. The Raiders aren't good. But they always play the Chiefs tough. So the fact that the line is minus 12.5, I would take Raiders plus 12.5 in a heartbeat, honestly. Because it's just for no matter who it's been the last couple of years, they just have played the Chiefs tough. Whether it was Carr, whether it was O'Connell at any point, whether now it's Gino. I just think the Raiders are gonna find a way to play the Chiefs tough. I really do in this battle. I think the Chiefs are still going to win. Look, that offense is clicking. They're getting Rice back. Now they're going to be fully healthy because you're going to have Rice, Worthy, Brown, Juju, and now Pacheco and Hunt. They're going to be. It's going to look like the 2022 offense. It's going to be clicking. The defense, I still don't think as good, but they played very well on Sunday night. Yeah, I really think the Chiefs. Look, my mindset when they were 0-2, I was like, they're fine. I mean, they lost to the Chargers in Brazil, and if Kelsey catches a ball, they beat the defending world champs. I think they're fine. I truthfully believe that. Also, from an Tyquan Thornton's been a revelation from an offensive standpoint. So give me the Chiefs in this football game. Chiefs are going to beat the Raiders. Uh, Give me the Chiefs. I think this is going to be close. Give me the Chiefs. I'll say 27-20. That's what I say. I think the Chiefs play very well from an offense perspective. I think the Raiders are going to try. I think they're going to have to run the ball more with Ginty. They're going to have to control the time of possession, I think, to have a chance. Gino's going to make one or two ill-advised throws that are going to get picked. That's how the Chiefs are going to win. But yeah, I like the Chiefs to win this football game, but I do like the Raiders to keep it close. Okay, let's go to the final game of the early slate. We got Eagles at Vikings. I assume JJ McCarthy's gonna play, which really sucks because I wanted to see Carson Wentz versus Hurts. That would just be, well, actually, because it's Thursday. Well, on the Wednesday practice, it looks like Wentz was a full participant and JJ McCarthy was limited. Vikings McCarthy ankle better, but not 100% yet. So if we get this is going to be, if we get Wentz versus Hurts, that's going to be a heck of a storyline that I will be there, that I'm going to be happy for. To me, this is going to be a heck of a football game. The Eagles, 4-2 here. They've lost their last two. Look, they've had a mini bye. They've had 10 days to kind of really figure this out. I think they're going to walk in and win. I don't think they're going to blow out Minnesota. Minnesota's got a very good defense. I think they figured some things out on the offensive line. I think they're going to be able to get the ball out to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I do still think it's a dogfight because I do think Minnesota is still, that's a tough football team. That's a very tough football team. Brian Flores very good in terms of what he does on defense. But yeah, give me the Eagles to win this football game. I think it's as close to as you can call it. I think it's like a slugfest. Give me the Eagles 20, 24-23. I think it's that close. I think Minnesota at home really there's close to winning. I think Philadelphia just finds a way, gets it done, shows that championship resilience. By the way, Patulo's got to get the ball to Barkley. I don't care. If Barkley's not touching it minimum of 20 times, you're not doing your job. You got to find a way to get Saquon Barkley the ball. I don't care if it's receiving, rushing. You have to find a way to get him the ball. Up next, 4 o'clock windows got some good ones. But let's start in the Mile High, where the Denver Broncos at home won 3 in a row, facing the New York Giants. Now, Giants, no Neighbors, obviously, he's out for the year. But Giants coming off of a big time win against the Eagles, riding some good juju. They're heading into Denver. This is the game I'm nervous for Dart. And the reason why I say that is because this could be a situation where Dart gets sacked like 7 or 8 times. I think if you're Dable, you got to get the ball out of Dart's hands quick. You're going to have to run it with Scattaboo. You're obviously, look, with Dart, you want those QB draws. Obviously, try to move the pocket, get him on some boots. Obviously, they're running a lot of the plays that he ran at Ole Miss. The system's really familiar to him, but I just think, look, Andrew Thomas isn't gonna. He's one man. The rest of this D line's gonna be able to get after him. Look, Knicks, they're gonna have to find a way to play much, much better. I think Denver is gonna win this football. I think Denver's gonna win this football game. Give me, I think the Broncos win because of the defense. I think Denver man just up front really gets after you. Give me the Broncos. I'm going to say 24-14. I think they have a bounce back day on offense. I think the key is going to be these two fronts, man. because these two fronts, I'm saying Denver has a decent O line, but Abdul Carter, Thibodeau, Burns, they can get after you. They can get after you. New York's defense is playing much better. So, yes, give me the Broncos to win this game. I still think the Giants should have some good juju. Or not juju, but they should still. They're not going to feel good if they lose this game, obviously. But I think Giants fans, look, you're not going to win all of them. But I think you're going to be. I think you're going to compete. You're going to compete. That's the one thing Darren Scaboo brings. They compete. I just don't think they win this game now. If the Giants win this game, it might be time for a conversation about how good the Giants are right now with Darden Scadaboo. Because they do have a lot of talent on this roster. Yes, they still have a couple of holes, but the talent, they were not performing up to their talent level when they were 0-3. So, yeah, give me the Denver Broncos to win this football game. Now, let's go to Arizona, where the Green Bay Packers traveled to the Cardinals. Green 425 on Fox. Cardinals coming off of a brutal loss to the Colts 31-27, in which there was a controversial holding call that was not called. My opinion on it, look, he did have his arms wrapped around McBride, but when he fell, they were no longer wrapped around him. You can have some sort of contact. If they had called it, it would have been a holding call. They couldn't call PI there because the ball was uncatchable. But yeah, Jacoby, look, Petzing, who's been a major problem for Arizona, I think he called his best game of the year last year with Brissett in there. Now, I don't know if Kyler's going to be playing, but if not, Brissett, look, the Cardinals have lost 4 in a row. Again, last week the Colts had a like they have CBS workers out there at secondary. Ward gets hurt right before the game and with some weird pregame stuff. He gets hurt. Moore's still out. Xavier Howard retired. I mean, they had nobody in terms of corners. Lou did the best he can with what he had in terms of that football game. Brissett was able to dime him up. I don't think he's going to be able to do this to Green Bay. Now, I do think every time these two teams play and it's at Arizona, it's usually a classic. That's what I'll say. It's usually a classic. I think we could be in for another classic. Potentially, it would be one of those weird, how is this the best game of the day? Could it be that? We'll never know. But give me Green Bay. Look, I know Green Bay didn't look great against Cincinnati, but they still got a lot of talent. I think they're figuring it out on the offensive side of the ball. Still, give me Green Bay to win this game. Give me Green Bay 30. Give me the Arizona Cardinals 21. Do think it's close because I do like how they compete, but I do think Green Bay wins it. Up next, America's Game of the Week. That's what they're touting it. I do not think it's the biggest game of the window, though. Biggest game of the week, it's Washington at Dallas. AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. Washington let one slip against the Bears, where Daniels fumbles. It's a rainy game. He fumbles. Look, no McLaurin was there. I don't know if McLaurin's going to be back, but we do know who will be back for this one. CeeDee Lamb's back, which, because that Washington defense does not look great or even good. I think this is a shootout game, but I'm going out on the limb here. I think Dallas wins this. I think Dallas finds a way to win. The reason I think this is because, one, they always split with Washington, I just think Dak getting CD back is massive. Because on because let's be real, Cavante Turpin was out. There was nobody on the opposite side of George Pickens. I think Dan Quinn was gonna try to take George Pickens away. Now that CD's back, it's going to be really hard to stop this offense, especially when they've got the run game going with Jamonte Williams. If they can get that going, I know they didn't get it going last week, but if they can get that going back this week, I think that's huge. Ferguson has been playing well. Look, I think Daniels, look, he didn't play great against Chicago. Played great, I thought, against Chargers, but didn't play great against Chicago. I just think Dallas, it's a shootout. I think both defenses struggle. To me, it's a whoever has the ball last type of game, and I think Dallas just finds a way to win. I really just think Dallas wins this football game because Dak gets the ball last and they drive down and Brandon Aubrey gets game-winning field goal. Give me the Dallas Cowboys to win 36-33. I think they find a way to win that. Now, to the biggest game of the day, Colts at Chargers. The Colts are the number one seed in the AFC, not only in the AFC South, but just in the total AFC. Chargers are 4-2. They're still at the top of the AFC West. Got the tiebreaker against Denver. For now, Chiefs are 3-3. Obviously, this game, to me, obviously, Colts, they're going to need to get healthy. We'll see if they have more. Downs is now in concussion protocol, which, oof. Ward, we'll see what happens there. Chargers, they got people hurt as well. Hampton's hurt. Slater's out. They need to get Joe Alt back. But that Chargers pass defense, one of the top pass defenses in the entire NFL, facing Daniel Jones in this offense. This is going to be a very, very good one. Look, the Colts back to LA after what happened at SoFi the last time against the Rams. Herbert's going to have to be great in this football game. He is going to have to be great in this football game just because of the injuries he has on offense. He was great against Miami in the second half. Late, he's one of the best in the late games in terms of the game-winning drives. Colts are a little bit healthier, but not by much. Again, they're beat up in the secondary. The Chargers right now, they're beat up on the O-line and at the back position. This is really one of those toss-up games. I'm leaning towards Colts here. I'm really leaning towards picking the Colts, winning this football game. The Chargers, man, just since week 3, they just have not looked good. They just haven't. Like, you lose to the Giants, your offense doesn't look really that good at all. Then you lose to the Commanders. You're up 10-0. It's 27-0 after that. You didn't really look great against the Dolphins. You can make the Dolphins, they get stopped. They win that game. Again, but the Dolphins are a dumpster fire as well in terms of the defensive side of the ball. This is going to be a challenge for both teams. And this is really going to be an interesting game. I think some of the keys to this game, can the Colts run the football, which I suspect they'll be able to. Well, the Chargers, because they both want to run the football and then play off of that. Who makes the critical error? Is it going to be Jones? Is it going to be Herbert? Or could it be both? And could that just even out? It's really going to depend. I'm going to lean Colts here because I just think the Colts, they're gonna be a little bit more healthier in this football game. I really do think it's a toss up. The Chargers, they just haven't looked the most impressive. The last couple of weeks they've been kind of spiraling. I don't trust the Chargers yet in this big game spot. Really don't trust either in this big game spot, if I'm being completely honest. But I do believe the Colts find a way to win and get to 6-1. And let me tell you, if the Colts win and get to 6-1, there are gonna have to be some serious conversations had. Are the Colts the best team in the league? That could be a legit conversation. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those games. Give me the Colts to win 28-24. Think the Colts find a way to win on the road. I think they get revenge for SoFi back out in LA. They lost to the Rams. I believe that does not happen this time. And look, the Colts, really good team. They just find a way to win. Really good team. They're a really good team, really good offense. Obviously, they got to get some guys back on the defensive side of the ball. But man, I do still think they have holes. But man, it's a weird year in the NFL. It's just a weird year. It's looking like the mid 2000s to early 2010s again, where the Steelers, Chargers, Colts, and Pats are on top. So yeah, give me the Colts to win this football game, and it would be huge because they would be up 2 games on the Chargers and then have that tiebreaker as well. So essentially up 3 games. This is massive. Also, if the Chargers win, they have that tiebreaker. So massive game in the AFC. Now, let's go to Sunday night. Atlanta at San Francisco. Atlanta coming off of that massive win against the Bills. Bills are on the bye this week. Bye couldn't have come at a better time for them considering the way they lost those 2 games. San Francisco coming off that tough loss to the Bucks, or in the second half. That look, you lose Fred Warner in the second half. The game gets out of control. Baker makes some amazing plays. I think the 2 backs are going to be featured a lot. Bijan and McCaffrey. That's going to be huge. The Niners are just so beat up right now, but at home, Atlanta, they're so, even though I said Atlanta would make the playoffs before the year, I was really high on them. The rookies have played great. The young guys have played great. I don't know. I don't trust them in this. It's tough for me to trust Atlanta because again, you lose 30-0 to the Panthers, but then you beat the Bills. Again, the league this year makes no sense. We talked about this. NFC highly competitive, AFC disaster. We've talked about this in the last NFL, in my NFL Week 6 takeaways. We talked about it. Or was it not Week 6? No, Week 5 takeaways. Excuse me. We talked about it. But yeah, give me the Niners to win this game on Sunday night. I think Kyle Shanahan's a wizard. I just think they finding a way. That's what you got to do in this league, and I think San Francisco's going to do it. I think San Francisco wins a good one. I think the key to this game is going to be, does Atlanta get enough pressure on the quarterback? If they do not, and Mac Jones is sitting back there, he's going to dice them up in this offense. I think San Francisco wins this football game. Will they get Kittle back? We'll see. We will see. Again, I'm recording this on Thursday, so we'll see. Give me the Niners to win in a. I'm going to say they win in terms of score. I'm going to say 28-21. I think San Francisco wins. All right, now to the 2 Monday night games. Let's start at Ford Field. Detroit and Houston. Detroit and Tampa. Baker's got everybody in their mother hurt on the offensive core. Evans is still out. Godwin, we'll see. Abuka, I think he may be out as well. Bucky Irvin's out. I mean, Lord. Detroit, the secondary's beat up as well. So that's really going to be the matchup. The beat up receiving core of Tampa versus the beat up secondary of Detroit. Give me Detroit. Give me the Lions to win. I just think they're healthier on offense. Plus I don't trust the Topo's defense. I think Detroit, the key to this game is going to be how can we slow down Baker? How do we slow him down? Can we get pressure on? How do we make it easier on our secondary? That's going to be a big thing for them. If Tampa wants to win this game, obviously Baker's going to have to sling it around the yard. They finally were able to do victory formation last week after they won, which I thought was kind of funny considering cardiac Bucks. But yeah, I think Detroit wins. I think Detroit bounces back. Look, no Brian Branch as well, because he was suspended for the fight. Detroit, man, I think they can make the NFC Championship. I think they've got that much talent when they're healthy. Could this be a preview? We'll see. NFC is just loaded, but man, give me the Lions to win this football game. Give me Lions 35, Bucks 27. I think the Lions. I know the Bucks beat them last year. I think the Lions win in this football game. Get sort of like revenge. Give me that. Now, I hate these Monday night doubleheaders. Houston at Seattle. Give me Seattle to win. I think Seattle's defense shuts them down. I think Seattle wins this game. It's a defensive slugfest. I think Seattle wins 20-17. All right, that has been it for my NFL Week 7 predictions. I will be posting some shorts, YouTube shorts. I hadn't been on that. I gotta get back on that recently, but yeah, out tomorrow I'll have my college football week 8 predictions up. It's a stacked week there in terms of the slate, big time games all over the place. All right, everybody. Until next time, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and until the next time, see ya.